I didn't do a good job. It's too long for TikTok now. So the plan would absolutely be to do Kenny versus Penny. There's a complication. It would be 6 days one day per season. However, there's a possibility, a very strong possibility that the review that I do, that I'll do it by heart. I don't want to watch the show. Well, it's a great show. But I just watched it so often that I think, look at this. We have a handheld. How cool is that? We have a handheld. Bought it last year. I want to see if it's gonna go to the kernel. We drop popcorn kernel. This is cruel though. You know, this is really cruel. Yeah, I feel bad about that. I should be selling it free, but then there goes science, right? So with Kenny vs. Penny, I feel like I've watched the show enough to be able to do like, hey, I'm going to do covering it up. Now, also, there is a situation with Kenny vs. Penny. So, Trailer Park Boys, I watched it. So, the situation with okay. I'm gonna do another video. So this is in season 12. This is in us ending Trailer Park Boys. I'm gonna be covering the podcast. Don't worry about it. I promise you guys I will keep my promises, like I usually do. But there is this bot that's coming in. And this bot that's coming in, which is kind of important in itself, is I would love being able to do the podcast when I work. So I don't know if it's in 2 weeks or in 3 weeks. I don't know when I'm gonna find a job, but I'm trying. So this could be. I think that's probably not much. Trailer Park Boys. Trailer Park Boys is more fun than Kenny vs. Penny, of course, when it comes to the show. But the reason why I wanted to watch the show, because Trailer Park Boy, the universe is so complex. It is the podcast, it is a movie, it is a special, it is the on tour, it is a live show, there's so much things. Kenny vs. Penny, although really good, I'm playing the tower. Although really good, when you watch the show, this is it. There's season 1 to season 6. There's the pandemic special, and then there's Kenny commentary. The cool thing with Kenny commentary is that we get a view on the affect of it. The not cool thing about it is it's just 20 years later, so you can tell that Kenny moved on. It just sucks that we have 88 episodes of Kenny vs. Penny, and that's pretty much it. So, as much as I wanna elastic Trailer Park Boys, I don't want to elastic Kenny vs. Penny because it's just such a show of anthem. In a perfect world, because Kenny vs. Penny, I can watch it in one day. But when I watch it in one day, I do a whole different. I don't do anything else. I'll put it in the morning and then I'll just watch it. It is 88 episodes, which is 20 minutes each, which is 1,720 minutes. 1,720 minutes is about 5 hours. It's not that much. It isn't that much at all. So I would like to watch it. It's more than 5 hours, but I do it 2 times the speed. So that I would like to watch it, the whole thing in one day, and I just don't have time to watch the whole thing in one day and do the covering. I could do that actually. I could do that, but it would take me like a rainy day, and I don't think tomorrow's a rainy day. I could do that actually. So this is pretty much it. However, there's more to it. Kenny vs. Penny. See. Why did I want to do it? I want to do it for the wrong reason. I want to do it because once it's done, it's done. And I can move on to, like, for example, Fullmetal Alchemist. You know? But I was watching, and the funniest thing is, and I have to kind of give shit to Kenny here, however, it's super understandable. Kenny Hawks bought the rights to Kenny vs. Penny, which allowed him to put it on YouTube. And him being able to put it on YouTube has been a way for fans to show for free. What is the problem with that? The problem with that is that YouTube will strike down Kenny vs. Penny. Kenny vs. Penny was a show that was extremely special. The word retarded is used, the word faggot is used. There is nudity. So YouTube will constantly take down Kenny vs. Penny. Kenny Hot, which is the channel to watch Kenny vs. Penny, is tired of it, and now they re-upload episodes. But they re-upload episodes without a care in the world. So what they'll do is they'll put, for example, who's a better chef. So I know, because I watch the show often, that Who is the Better Chef is season 1, episode 3. I know that the weight, who can gain more weight is actually the pilot, and who can lose more weight is the first episode. I know season 6, which is the ending, ends with a show called Who the Black Guys Like the Most, right? So that's pretty, I know that shit, right? For something that comes in, it's really hard to focus. So for example, you want to see the show how it evolves. So for example, with Kenny vs. Penny, this is very special. So in the first, there's this relationship between Kenny vs. Penny. There's this certain relationship, and now at the end of the show, there's no relationship. They hate each other. So yeah, Kenny said he hates Penny because Penny would complain about what the show was, but Kenny would be the one that spent days and weeks on end. He would sleep at the office to watch the show and cut the show. So they would do an episode per week. But episode per week is easy, except for when you're filming for 3 days. So when you're filming for 3 days, and you have to montage for 4 days, this is a bit more complex. You have to write the show, you have to write something else. So yeah, so it's a lot harder. However, I did find someone that uploaded this season. They did was 1 video per season. They did 1 video per. This is really cool though. It is 1 video per season 1, which is 9 hours and 51, and the rest they're smaller. They're a lot smaller. So yeah. So I could watch this, but ultimately speaking, the problem with Kenny vs. Penny is that once it's done. There's nothing else. Like realistically speaking, I can do Trailer Park Boys for 3-4 years, realistically speaking. And then the greatest thing about Trailer Park Boys is it's not finished. So even if, for example, right, 1 week I'm motivated, I'm really motivated, guys, and I want to start content, right? So what I end up doing is I end up doing 4 episodes every single night, right? That's out a week. That's 28 episode. 28 episode is huge. It's half a year. There is 10 years of it. So by the time that I'm there, there's always gonna be more episodes. Ultimately, I'm gonna scan it. Even if I do 1 episode per day, the show is 520 episodes. The current state of the podcast. So it would be 1 week is 700. It would be like 80 days. It would be like 2 or 3 months. But the 2 or 3 months, that is 2 or 3 months, that is 8 to 12 weeks, which is 8 to 12 more episodes, right? And I would do it when I have a job. So if I don't find a job this week, and if I only find a job in 3 weeks, I start in 3 weeks. So already our calculation is wrong. We're gonna be eating 10 years soon. So yeah. So Trailer Park Boys, there's just almost longevity to it, versus a show like Kenny vs. Penny, where there's no longevity to it. And ultimately speaking, I couldn't review the commentary from Kenny Hot, but I just don't think that I want to, because it's a commentary on a show like Kenny vs. Penny. Oh man, it is the best quality of it is his worst flaw. The best quality of it is the fact that it's a show that's remained untouched. Like Kenny vs. Penny today could not exist. It would be cancelled after season 2 when they eat more meat. It will not exist, right? But since it's already made, you cannot erase part of the history. So there's always ways to check it out, and always way to watch it, and always way to remember it. But the show shouldn't have existed. And there's also this, and this is more of a personal problem. This is a lot more of a personal problem. This is something I shouldn't be mad about, but I'm a bit mad about. So Kenny, in his later years, came out and said, "Hey, those are the things that I did that I regret. Now, ultimately speaking, Kenny has a right to regret. Ultimately speaking, Kenny is a different person. He is a father now. It is that said that in his commentary. And I'm saying that I'm watching this and I'm like, dude, I worship you because you were the way you were. A lot of who I am is thanks to Kenny Haas, you know. And that's really, and there's things that I've done in the past that I already regret, and things that I've done today that I've already regretted in 10 years. Like, oh, why did you keep it ending captivity for content? That's stupid. Right? But for now, what I'm doing is it's fun. You know, it's fun and it's what I wanted to do. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But for now, we'll see. And hearing Kenny, oh, dude, he's not eating the kernel. Shit. He's literally gonna be eating the kernel, but he's not. Damn it. Yes, so it is complex. It is really complex. And I don't know how it's gonna work. I don't know how. I hope it does, but if it doesn't, it doesn't. And if it doesn't, I'm kind of fucked. I don't know. I have no clue, guys. It's gonna be a day-to-day, check by check. Right? Anyway, love you guys. Take it easy. All this is say two things. We'll be taking a break from Trailer Park Boys, and all of this to say we'll be starting Kenny vs. Bay. Sounds good? Sounds great. Don't blink, it's your buying. Followed by either some screams or some music, I'm not too sure. That's bad. That's bad. How are you guys today? You guys are doing good? And it's 2nd to June 2025. They were a very emotional little inky. Today we are recapping and reviewing season 12 of Trailer Park Boys, which is last season. I was supposed to do the animated series. I don't know if I'm gonna do it. I don't know if I'm gonna do it this week or next week. Because I'll be completely honest, I'm 50 for Trailer Park Boys. I watched just 12 season in 1 week, you know. Well, in a week, let's say 2 weeks, but it's still a lot. And the problem with Trailer Park Boys is I still have to do the podcast. Even if I did 5 episodes per day, the plan would be to do 5 episodes per day. That would be the plan. Plan 5 episodes per day would be really good. If I do 5 episodes per day, I have 104 days of making content, which is around 104 is about people are fucking streaming. People are crazy, dude. People are crazy. Shut the fuck up. You hear this? No respect. No respect. Sorry, but it just common courtesy. Common courtesy oblige. So yeah, so like I was saying, it would be 104 would be 3 months and 2 months and a half, which is nothing. And that's doing 5 days, 5 episodes per day. Technically, no. Technically, you're wrong. Holy shit, Ink, you're wrong. Because technically speaking, I would do it when I'm at work, which would be 5 days. So instead of doing 30 episodes per week, instead of doing 25 episodes per week, it would be 20 episodes per week. It would be 25 episodes per week. 25 episodes per week. I'm going to be at 109. It's going to be 4 months. I'm not good at math, huh? I'm not good at math. I am not good at math. 25 divided by 520. 520 divided by 25. That's about, that's 20. And that is 21. Yeah, so this is 21 week. 21 week, now there's going to be 21 more episodes, so 22 weeks. But that's we're done. 22 weeks is about, 22 weeks is about, 22 weeks is about, 5 months and a half. The problem is there's stuff that I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna do the year-end review. I'm not gonna do year-end review. Fuck that. So sorry. But yeah, so I have content for the next year. Making content. So it is a bit sweet. Now with the animated series, I'm already tired. So if I start doing the podcast, I'm gonna get even more tired. So I don't know if I'm gonna do it. So with that being said, let's get into the review. Season 12. Season 12 feels very, very, very bittersweet. It feels very bittersweet. It's oh, wait a second. It feels like something that is not supposed to exist, but at the same time do it. And you're like, oh yeah, that's cool that it exists. And at the same time you're like, no, I didn't want it to exist because it's tight. It's kind of hardest. Season 12, they're talking about making a season 13. I don't think so. Because season 12 feels like the end. Season 12 really feels like the end. From the very first episode where Bubble says, yo, we're loser. We need to fix ourselves, right? That's season 12, but also at the same time, season 12 feels like a huge party. It feels like a good time. It feels like something that closes a book, like a closing chapter. This is, in my opinion, more, I'm a huge fan of what I'm doing. I'm a huge fan. To me, season 12 feels like, okay, well, we beat Sauron. We're gonna get a wedding for Aragorn and Arendelle, and we're celebrating. The hobbits are the best. That's what it feels like. Well, that's what it really feels like. So now, let's start with this. It's 10 episodes. Some of them are shorter though, so it shouldn't be too much. There you go, found you. I'm gonna try to do it in 45 minutes. I have 45 minutes left before I have to go. So I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it, but it's okay. It's not a big deal. It isn't a big deal. It's okay to tell me what you think about me. I won't try. Yeah, season 12 is emotional. Is it the best season? No. Is it the worst season? No. It is a bit weird when you know that's finished because it's like your last day of school and you know if you finish. Or better than that, it's like your it's like your last month at work and you know it's gonna be finished and you feel some way. You feel like you're gonna miss it, right? So here you go. Season 1 episode 1 because we rewatched the whole thing. Season 12 is absolutely phenomenal. I have to check out why J-Rock left Trailer Park Boys. Because I don't see him. I haven't seen him since season 10. I haven't seen MC Flurry since season 10. So that's not good. Okay, season 12 baby. So season 12, Chlamydia. This is how it starts. Oh, fuck, this is emotional. Season 12 feels like a lot like questioning characters. Like for example, you got Julian getting married to Candace, but Julian never talked about getting married. You got this relationship of Ricky and Suzanne that was foretold in season 11, but you just see it happen and you're like, holy shit, this happened fast. We watched it in one day, so it should be pretty normal. So we got Ricky once again growing weed, and his homies are Corey and Jacob. I want to see more this season. See more Corey though. That's actually pretty good, but it's nuts because there is a certain kinship between Ricky and Jacob and Ricky and Corey, and yes, it makes sense. While yes, it makes sense because Jacob is like the son-in-law of Ricky, but no, it doesn't make sense because Trinity is not involved. So it's like, okay, well, I'm chilling with my son-in-law, but my daughter isn't there. And it feels a bit weird. They're being shot at. They're being shot at, and somebody is there. So of course they get shot at, and Ricky doesn't get shot at, but Jacob is, which is a miracle because Ricky has been shot at multiple times. I'm gonna be honest and say I don't remember where Candy comes from. I don't remember what season we saw Candy. I don't remember that. That's weird, right? So we have Bubbles. The first episode is we have Bubbles. He now have his own brewery. I gotta say that it is kind of cool because of this. This is kind of cool because of it's a nice to a shed. You know, it's kind of cool. I'm gonna give props to the boys, but I'm also gonna give them shit. So I want to give props to the boys because they had this new product and it's really promoted. Freedom 25 is the main selling of here. Now the cool thing is, even though that wasn't going on, I knew what it was because of the podcast. They were brewing a beer. So season 12 is Freedom 25. Now, my very first exposure to that was Rich Piana. Rich Piana is a bodybuilder. Rich Piana would be on YouTube and he would swear and he would swear and he would swear. Why that's special? Because on YouTube you weren't allowed to swear. But he didn't give a fuck about not making money for this video because he was selling some protein he was selling a lot of product to be there, you know. So with the boys, them showcasing the product, this is your season. You should be showcasing what you want. At times it does feel too much though. When you know it's all about promoting your product, and it's kind of cool. Now there is a super cool moment here, right? Bubbles has the Green Master beer, right? Which is super fucking cool. Give me a sec. There you go. He has the Green Master beer. Now, why is that cool? Is their first product was the Freedom 35. The first beer that they came out with was the Freedom 35. Now, the last one they came out, I think they have a beer for Ricky. I think he has a beer for Julian, and I think there's bubble beer which is a Green Master, but I'm not 100% sure. So much later on. Now it's cool because Julian doesn't have cash, and Julian is asking for help, and it's nice because Julian, although we haven't seen him a lot, and the guy might question himself. It's like he feels like a loser, and at first it's beautiful. Julian ends up being a super good character, super cool character because he's a character that the whole time was seemingly insured. He was like, "Yo, I'm the best. I'm confident. I'm the one that's in charge of the trailer." And to a certain degree, everybody else believed in him. Like, "Yo, Julian is the one that's in charge around here." But then you realize that deep down, he is really questioning himself. He doesn't know where he belongs. Doesn't know what he wants, right? Bubbles have his own gear. Bubble has everything that he needs to be happy. Ricky has a grandson. Where does Julian have nothing? To question himself. You got Ricky talking about how him and Susan are now a thing. You got Bubble who's in charge. Bubble is actually doing really well. You got Trinity and Bubbles, which is basically she gives him mad because he's in pain. Bubble is asking them to go legit. To go legit. So Ricky comes back and he said, "I'm shot." Said, "Why did you get shot?" "Well, I have a wheat field." Which would be cool if we didn't see that so often. Big announcement. Okay, what is that? Oh yeah, he wants to do a big announcement, which is basically marrying Susan. We have Leahy who's stuck in jail. We got Randy who's stuck in jail. But Randy and Leahy are actually in a real good place. And you know what? I love them in a good place. I love the fact that they're constantly fighting, but at the same time, it's kind of annoying when it comes to much. And when you look at it from the whole perspective, the relationship with Leahy is kind of good because at first it wasn't accepting Randy, then it became about not accepting Leahy drunk in the later season, and then it became about, you know what, this is the way you are, I have to accept it from you. And the sad thing is, if you look at Good Night to the Bad Guys, which was the ultimate end, which was the official ending of the first era of Trailer Park Boys. Like I said, Trailer Park Boys, the later era, like season 8, season 9, season 10, not supposed to exist. So just Good Night to the Bad Guys, it is. And Leahy is okay with Randy smoking, and Randy is okay with Leahy drinking. So that's pretty cool. They had the money from Julian from selling the 5 hours energy. However, the police took the money, and now there's a lot of money that they used. So I don't remember how much was the deal. I think it's like 400 something, 400,000. So they're like, "Yo, what I would like to do is I'll give you some money, so hush up money. Don't talk about the money. Don't talk about the fact that you had money. Just pretend like nothing didn't happen. We'll give you money, and then you just shut your mouth." Now the cool thing is the very first, and this is what I love about it, is the first thing that Randy does is like, "Leahy, this is our Mr. Leahy. This is the chance that we have for Julian. This is a place. This is a change. This is a chance to change and have peace." Gotta say, in this season, I love Randy. It took me 12 seasons, but I love Randy Bandy. I love this big greasy cheeseburger walker. I love him because he wants to do peace. He wants to do peace. This season is what I would like to see from Leahy and Randy. This season is really good. So Randy is constantly like, "Yo, let's make peace with the boys." So we have Ricky who has a new shed. Now the cool thing with this is because the New Yorker wasn't working. It wasn't working at all. So what ended up happening was Ricky was like, "Yo, let's use it." I still want to, because it's part of the Trailer Park Boy history. So we have the boys and Ricky talking about big announcements. When he wants to marry Susan, so you have Corey and Jacob. What would be the big announcement? They're both fucked. Randy once again tell Leahy, "Yo, this is the opportunity," but then Leahy, and also Leahy strikes. Leahy's like, Julian doesn't know what the money is. He doesn't know what it is. Let's see how the situation go, and then we'll see how it goes. And then Leahy started with the gambling, which, ultimately speaking, I didn't like at first. I didn't like that. I don't. It's not that I didn't like that. I was like, Leahy is an alcoholic. That's enough, right? But then in season 8, you see him gambling and gambling and gambling. You didn't know that he had a penchant for gambling. You got Ricky come back to the farm to steal a horse, which sucks because this is the exact same farm that he had Mo in. So you're like, dude, this guy was so nice to you. Then Jacob get kicked, which is kind of funny, but not that much. He has his neck break. We have Bubbles, who transformed his car into Green Lantern. Again, it would be really nice if you didn't buy the car last season. So it's using things that you already have. It's using things that you already have, but not really doing it. However, I gotta say, I was a fan of the tomato sauce. I was a fan of the tomato sauce concept because yes, first of all you're giving job to the people in the park. First of all, second of all, you are making sure that we have some content. Third of all, you never did that before. However, I'm more of a fan of the beer because it's something that exists in real life. So you got Donnie and you see Bubble who's selling beer to the park inhabitants, right? Which is fucking funny. You got Leahy and Randy who again are super nice. The first thing they do is like, yo, Julian, please let's do peace. Now in this one, what is weird is that Julian is fucking broke. Julian is fucking broke. There's a moment where he says, I'm not able to afford microwave popcorn. And the sad thing is, I think he was waiting on the money of Leahy and Randy. But he didn't know it existed, so never mind. Never mind. So he says, yeah, you're gonna pay me back, you're gonna pay me back. And Randy's about to tell him there's money for you, and Leahy's like, fuck that guy. So we had the big announcement. What is really cool, the big announcement here is really nice because he's gonna ask Susan to marry him. The reason why this is really nice is because remember the Big Dirty, the movie? Where Ricky does the exact same thing. It's the exact same people. The rock pals are having a party, and he does an announcement, and he marry. Instead of Lucy flashing her tits, we offer Susan a horse. Different but still the same. So this I really, really, really like. Marguerite, she's like, yo, this girl is crazy. Everybody hates Susan. I forgot to tell you that in both beginning, Bubbles and Julian's like, yo, Susan's just crazy. So she comes in and she tells Ricky, Susan, come in. This is Susan, by the way. I actually like her. I actually like her. She's funny. She's funny and she's Canadian, and also her show is kind of funny. So with most people, most women comedians, I find the fact that they have to add the fact that yo, I'm a woman and I can be funny. With her, it's just like I'm funny. It doesn't matter if I'm a woman or not. And when you see the 20-minute show, she's really fucking cool. Why? Because the four of them, they've been together for years, right? So she tells Ricky that he cheated. She tells him that she doesn't want to marry him. She called Ricky a loser. She breaks his heart. Now the cool thing here is yes, she breaks his heart. And then you got Bubbles, you got Julian like, yo, she's better off, bro. And that's really nice. But the coolest thing here is that it's Sarah that protects Ricky and says, fuck you, you're not a good guy for him. And what I also like here is you see in the scene, there's a lot of Trailer Park Boy inhabitants. There's a lot of trailer inhabitants. There's a lot of people in the trailer which we wanted to see since day one. Then she breaks his heart and he's in a sad mood and he had his heart broke. So then they come back, Leahy and Randy's like, yo, we're gonna be doing with the money that we have. So it's kind of crazy because they owe money. It's like, okay, well, either we can pay them back right now or do we do with the money we have. We got Bubble who's calculating and he's gonna be okay. However, Bubble business grows up. If it grows up, he needs more help. Now he has a scene. This is the scene that I like the least about Trailer Park Boys. So Bubble's like, yo guys, you have to get the fuck up. You have to find a job. You have to go legit. And look at me, I'm going legit. Now this scene is hard to hear because like the boys the way they are, they're criminal. If this scene was in season 9, I would have been pissed off. But this scene is season 12, which is the last season. I don't really mind, and he's right? And even then, the boys are like, yo, maybe Bubble's right. So he tells them, you have to find a job or something. you have to take a good look of yourself. And the best thing about it is, it's like, yo, we're getting old. And the best thing about it is, Bubble says we're getting old and getting shitty looking. So it's like, it's not necessarily talking about getting a job or finding money, but putting your life together. For example, with Julian finding a girlfriend. For example, with Ricky finding a job. So that's good. And it's super funny because Julian has a fucking, he has a date, and Ricky tells him, I hope you get dates, which really made me laugh. Season 10, episode 2, how I feel sad, guys. I can't believe this is it. I cannot believe this is it. Godspeed, my muscular friend. So you got the boys who had a wake-up call. You have Barbara Leahy, who comes in, and this season, I have a problem with Barbara Leahy. There's not a problem with the character. It's not a problem with the character, it's a problem with how little it's been used. So for example, with Barbara Leahy, she was part of the cast since season 2. I think in season 1 we see her once or twice, in season 2 is really where she appears. We've been using her now a lot. Now we've been using her a lot, and now we didn't use her. So then she's selling Bubble that because of the bearded rodent, right? And because of that, she's tired of it. They're having real life issues with the rodent, which is gonna be cool because this is one way to introduce a plot. So for example, in season 10 episode 2, he said, okay, well, this rodent problem, which leads to Barbara having a problem. Ricky, who's looking for a job, is taking odd job and says, hey, I'll take care of this for you, which equate to him having some shit under the trailer. And under the trailer equates to them having mushrooms. And the mushroom equates to them having money. Make sense? Makes sense. And then Bubbles, Julian comes in and he has he's well dressed. And he's like, yo, I'm gonna give out some CDs. And then Bubbles like, yo, he doesn't even bring his glasses. You're really serious, Julian? And he's like, no, I have this water bottle where I can put some alcohol. Look at this. This is Bubble being proud. This is a very cool scene. Bubble sees Julian glasses being proud. And look what he says. This is it. This is the moment I'm going to show you. Look at this. This is super funny.
Godspeed, my muscular friend.
This is good. It's emotional because Bubbles is proud. And it's cool because it took them 12 seasons, but Bubbles kind of is in charge of the boys. With the Trailer Park Boys, it's hard because Julian was in charge because it was kind of fucked, right? It was kind of fucked. Now Ricky became in charge because he had the money. And then Bubbles was in charge because he had shit together. So Bubbles decided to do a 2-cent per deposit per bottle. He's trying to get people to get the bottle back and give it all back to the society, to the park, which is cool. It is not cool because when you realize the logistics behind it, it doesn't make any sense. So Bubble sells almost exclusively to the park and to the Legion because the park people, they're not paying it. So how can you reimburse something how can you be reimbursed for a bottle that you didn't even pay? It doesn't make a lot of sense. Then he has to explain math so yeah, his calculator is Green Bastard. Got trained with Mo, and Mo is so special because, this is what brings the park together, right? Trinity got to see Bubble, which said my father is fucked, and he wants to leave. Then Ricky's like, you're right, Bubbles, I should find some job, and I don't know what to do, right? So he wants to become like a person that asks for money, a pen handler, and Bubbles like, no, I'll figure something out. So then Leahy realized that the liquor isn't helping him, so he needs a new hobby, which is going to the track. Got Julian, who goes for work. And I gotta say, Julian going for work is actually kind of nice because the first time I watched a season, I was working. The second time I was watching a season, I was working. This is the first time I see the season without working. And I'm looking for a job, and I realize how hard it is. So I'm kind of in the same shoes, So Bubble, they see Ricky, and they're trying to do what's up. They realize that Ricky's pretty handy, and he could do a job here, right? And that would be the perfect place. And that's pretty much it. You got Julian who's depositing CVs, but then he doesn't have experience, and he has like a long list of a criminal past. See, in this one, Julian could be seen as this guy who cannot get out of making like crimes. But most of the job they could have had, he ended up being too much of a criminal to keep, right? Because he ended up being too much of a criminal to keep. I want to see if she's still alive because we have an ending here. I don't know what you are, my little friend. I don't want him to die. I feel really bad leaving that ant in here. I don't know what to do, guys. Hi. I thought I was showing you the end. I was showing you myself. There it is. So yeah. So Julian kind of doesn't have a choice, right? It's a case of people will see me as a criminal. People see me as this monster. Maybe I should be this monster. Versus being like, hey, everybody treats me like shit. Maybe I should treat them back like shit, or maybe I should overcome the adversity that I'm facing. You know, it's complex. It is complex. Okay, so next we have Bubbles once again filling application. He's still a wallet, which is kind of important. Ricky posts an ad. Right away gets hired by Marguerite. I wish there was more of a Ricky working there. It served the purpose of him trying to do indie work and not being very good, and then him actually having a contract for Barb, and then the mushroom, right? So they go to the track. Leahy bets fucking a lot of money, and he loses it. And Randy gonna have a gift. He's a horse whisperer. Now, if you know the backstory of Randy and how he got pissed on by a horse, that's a God-given gift. It's like Spider-Man getting bitten by the spider. So then Ricky has his first job. Of course, he fucks it up. He breaks the breaker, he breaks the water filter, and he makes a lot of mess. Before he even finished with his first job, he owes a lot of money to Marguerite, which is Bubbles like, holy fuck, Ricky, what happened? It's funny because it's Ricky fucking up, but it's not funny in a sense of you actually wanted to do that for him. So you got Julian once again stealing. You see he's stealing again and again, which kind of sucks. He gets cut by the he gets cut by Miles Security, which is him giving him shit. Then Julian's like, yo, I was undercover. I wanted to work here. I want to show you that I can work here. I want to show you how much your mall was such a problem. I don't know if I can even fix you. I cannot help you. And Gary's like, oh, I know I need help. Once again, what is cool here is we're using Gary. Gary we've been using since season 2. So this is super nice. And then he tells him, I'm stressed. I'm sorry, Julian. Please help me out. Then he agrees to help out. You got Bubbles seeing the damage that Ricky has done. Say, Ricky, you fucked up, dude. You fucked up bad. Again, not super interesting, but entertaining. You see, there's a lot of season of Trailer Park Boys where I could have said this is not entertaining, and this is not entertaining. This is not important. This is entertaining at least. You got Leahy saying, okay, but Randy, you'll be in charge of the money. You'll be in charge of the money. So what is really cool here is this is really, really good writing. So in season 10, episode 1, at the end we had the boy that said, hey, you need to get this shit together. And this is season 10, episode 2, where we have the same meeting, but this time he has a job and Bubbles' job. So you know, so it's direct evolution. And since we just spent the whole episode, because this is the only thing that happened this episode. The only thing that happened this episode was we have the boys together. That's it. We had Ricky find a job, and we had Julian find a job. That's it. That's the only thing that happened. Season 10, episode 3, whore. So we got Bubbles. Oh, it's so fucking funny because Ricky steals the deck of Leahy and Randy to fix the deck. So then it's more problem. Marguerite is actually spreading rumors about Ricky that he's a bad worker. Leahy goes into a fight with Randy, and it sucks because apart from that, Leahy and Randy would have never fought Ricky. It's like kind of like a piece. Like every single time that they come back from jail from season 1 to season 10, it's like how long can we keep the peace, right? And now the first thing that they do is Ricky fucking them over. It kind of sucks. Like, he fights both of them, but again, wait a second. What was he calling? Oh yeah, Susan is calling him, and Susan is pissed off. She wants to get back with him. So that's kind of she. And he makes a date with her. Then he offers peace again, which is something we saw. Ricky's a shitty worker, which is again something we saw. Susan wants to get into a date. She wants pasta con carbonara, which is a really good meal. I was gonna help him out. We got securities. Right away, Julian makes some crime, which I'm like, dude. And you see, it's not that. Is it because you cannot escape crime, or because you know nothing but crime, right? And that kind of sucks. If that's the case, that kind of sucks. However, I think it's pretty cool that we have characters that we didn't see yet doing something that we didn't see it. Same guy was screaming an hour ago. This guy screams the whole entire fucking day. So Julian started to do crime. He asked people to steal from him for him. Now this is kind of cool. He asked the rock pile to go in and say, "Hey, yo, steal this for me. Pretend like you're gonna rob the store, and I'll save the day like I'll be a hero." So and in this case, Julian is like, "I'm good crime, but I'll be the good guy." So I'm hiding my action with crimes. We got that. It's a trailer park itself. You get this guy screaming at a cat screaming. This is how. So then Ricky saved the day. He stopped them, and then Julian's like, "Yo, you fucking dummy! You're breaking my plan." So it's kind of funny. It is really funny. And again, this is what happened when they don't go together. You got Julian both as a cook, which is really cool because Bubbles a really good cook. So they come in. They have this. They have Susan. He's like, "I don't want them to go back together." Julian talking about how shitty his job is, right, and how much he wants money. So he sees Leahy and Randy at the shop to fix the deck that Ricky broke. So you're making Ricky break the deck, and then you're giving a reason for Leahy and Randy to go back to the mall. You make Randy and Leahy go back to the mall, and you give Julian a reason to see them that they have money. Like, how come you have money to buy shit when you owe money? Which is really, really good. You got people that are fighting. You got Jacob coming back from his operation. He's completely fucked. His neck is broken. Which is really cool. Look at this. I love those two. It's cute. Shane is still there. Because Susan and Ricky are banging. So, you know how it is. He cooks for, what should I call it? Oh, dude, this is so cool. It's so cool. He cooks for Susan. We got Bubbles bringing beer to Donnie. Donnie's like, "Ricky stole my fucking hammer." And then Bubble has to answer for Ricky. Right? And in this case, it's funny because Bubble is once again kind of the one that has the solution to everything. Susan and Ricky get back together, which is shitty because they're really toxic together. They're really toxic. I thought Lucy and Ricky was toxic, but they were more. Marguerite with a broken toilet goes in, and she's like, "Yo, I'm gonna be using your bathroom because you fucked up mine." Donnie comes in and he tells Ricky, "Yo, you got my fucking hammer. Take a screwdriver and stab Ricky." And kind of fucked up. Sarah comes in and she's like, "Oh my god, did you stab Ricky?" She's like, "No, I didn't fucking stab Ricky, bitch." And the funniest thing about this episode is they fight, and Susan called Sarah a cunt. And then Sarah's like, "You went too far. You went too far. You're no good. You're no good for here. You're no good for this park. You're no good for Ricky. You're a piece of shit." So I'm glad that even though this show swears, apparently cunt is too much. Go figure. So they fight once again. Because they fight, Sarah is kind of kicked out because she asked Ricky to choose between her and Susan. And then Sarah, she leaves, right? And then she ended up being at Julian's house, right? Julian's house, which means that they kind of bang, which again could have been something more. Give a relationship between Julian and Sarah, even if it doesn't work, it doesn't matter. To get banged. Leahy and Randy, because Julian's becoming too much of a problem, they say, "You know what we need a assistant trailer park supervisor." And Leahy's like, "Yo, we can afford it, Randy." And then it's like, "Okay, well, if I make money at a track, I'll hire a supervisor." Now, again, I want to shout out the writing here. The writing is amazing. The writing is a domino effect. We have Leahy giving up on alcohol, just back to gambling. You got. I should go in because the battery's a bit low. Okay, we're good here and here. Ooh, we're not good here. Okay, give me a sec. We'll be right back. Oh. And we're gonna have a problem with the batteries, okay? It happens to the best of us. It happens to the best of us. Ooh, guess what? I have a plan. I'm so sorry. Microwave popcorn. What did I do? We got ourselves some microwave popcorn. That I could afford it. So here again it's writing that's amazing. Because Lacey is such a poor gambler, Randy is one that is in charge of the money. And Randy that's the one that needs a active trailer park supervisor. And it's so cool because you're not necessarily dissing Leahy. Leahy, it would be really weird to have him as an assistant trailer park supervisor. We already had him once with season 6, and like I said, I didn't like that. So it's a weaker. See, I don't mind you using plot that you have used before, but they have to be good. So then it leads to them putting a ad out, which leads to George being hired. And George is one of the best characters of season 12. A whole lot of shit. So it starts, Bubble is making this, he has the bottle. Okay, so I made a mistake. So Barb was finding a bottle on the floor and she's like, yo, you can't have that. And then it ends up in having some rodents. And then they have some, what should we call it? Because they have some rodents and they have a problem. And she wants to find Bubble for that. Now the best thing about it is they're speaking French. Why is that a great thing? It's because they're from Montreal. Canada speak French also. A lot of people speak French in Canada, but some people do. I want to show you the Ricky sandwich. Some bread and Takis. Or some rats and pretzel. Eating cow shit. After this, she fucks up Ricky. She tells him, "I'll give you the contract. You can do it for half of this." So that kind of sucked because she's using Ricky, which we saw her use Corey and Trevor, or Corey and Jacob. That's pretty much it. We have Bubble with his business. The cool thing with Bubble in this season is the whole thing. The whole thing is about his business. So it's not multiple plot, it's one plot. So Ricky's like, yo, I need your trailer. I want to take care of Barb. Which is gonna be the manure. And almost right next to it, you got Julian who was asking for the truck because he wants to sell furniture. So then it's not because they kind of have Bubbles having this really cool business. Once again, if you look closely at details, this is really interesting. If you look closely at details, look at this. Look at, you got Bubble Shed. You see the plants behind? Super fucking cool. I love that. Okay, next on the list we have more of the gambling, and this is the one where Randy is gonna win. Now, what I love here is this is the end also of the horse track. So the whole thing about the horse track was how you can make some money to hire a trailer park supervisor. or assistant. And what is cool here is you don't need to be doing this the whole season. You're doing it for 4 episodes. They establish that he has a gambling problem. Got a couple of good scenes. Let's move on. So you got Julian was asking for the rock pile to help him again. And the rock pile was like, "Fuck you, Drew. Ricky's almost shot us yesterday. We're not helping him." You got a kid who are shoveling manure, which sucks because once again he's using the kid. He's fighting because this time he's gonna pay them. Julian steals some furniture, which is boring because you could have done better, Julian. And then it's pretty much it. So the rock pile, they fucked him over. You got Ricky who's asking the kids to help him fixing, which if it is to use them it sucks, but if it is to teach them shit, it's kinda cool. Ricky is possibly one of the only like father figure we see in the show. They put the cow manure behind the trailer, which takes care of the rats. Bubble is pissed because his whole car is small shit. Because again, you got Randy having the trifecta, which if you know, just like I do. No, I think horse track. This is actually super cool because you're learning shit. You're learning shit that you didn't know before. So there is like a purpose. Like, oh, what did you learn at trifecta? What about boys? I like that. I like when I see a show, as dumb as they are, teach me about shit. Like for example, the whole thing with Plateau. The whole thing of the Noble Riot, which is back in season 1, episode 2. I didn't know that either. Now that I get this, it's kind of cool. I gotta say,